I buy an absolute insane amount of video games, and I really try to curate them and only get things I really want to play. In the previous pickups video, we talked about how I had picked up so many games that I couldn't put them all in a single video. So this is kind of a semi-continuation of that series where I'm trying to go through these games. But as I pulled these games out, I realized there wasn't a single game in the pile that was a AAA game, or even anything that was super well known. Pretty much every one of these games is a hidden gem. I hate to use that term, but that's what it is. These are mostly obscure or relatively unknown games that I just happened to pick up. And I'm excited about each and every one of them, and let me share them with you. Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly, and here are 25 recent pickups that happen to be hidden gems that you should probably know about. Great title. Let's just dive right in. First up, we have a suspenseful, almost horror roguelite driving game on the PS5. So many people told me that this game was fantastic and that I had to play it. And I watched some gameplay footage of it, and it looks absolutely incredible. It's Pacific Drive. And as I understand this, you trick out your car and you're just trying to drive from some location to another, and random events happen along the way. Forest fires, ghosts chasing you, serial killers, I don't know, but people tell me that this is a really stressful experience, but a lot of fun. And it's cool that between runs you get to upgrade your car and do things like that. Now, I don't know everything about it, but everybody says this is fantastic, and it's one of the games I'm most likely gonna spend a gold star on to play. I don't really know if it's a horror game, but I get a sense of it that it is kind of like that. It says you're investigating the exclusion zone, a hazardous place filled with not super real, or surreal, or supernatural. None of those things. The word that's on here that I was trying to read is surreal. Pumped to try this one out. Thank you everyone that recommended this one to me. And thank you Radical Reggie, who I got to meet recently, and for recommending it. Everyone my age has a soft spot for those crappy Laserdisc arcade games that came out back in the 80s and early 90s, like Dragon's Lair and Time Gal and all those. They had their place, and that place was to steal every quarter you had in your pockets, because nobody ever survived more than 30 seconds playing those games because they were so hard. They're essentially just quick time events, right? Well, those games kind of continued on into the console generations, right? There are a few games that were ported over. Dragon's Lair has certainly been ported over to many different consoles. There are a few games that were made just for consoles. And here's one. It's Braindead 13 on the Sega Saturn. This also came out on the PlayStation. It also came out on the 3DO. It's much harder to find on the PlayStation than the 3DO and more expensive, but the Sega Saturn version is supposed to be pretty good. And I love the big Saturn boxes. It'll look good on the shelf. That's prime directive number one, right? It's got to be good on the shelf. But Retro Wolf mentioned this game to me, and in case you guys don't know, Retro Wolf, a friend of mine, he recommended this game. He said it's one of the craziest games he's ever played, and I remember renting it back when it came out and being ultra super confused about what to do. But I'm in the mood to play some games like this. So, Braindead 13, while it's supposed to be a generally terrible game, I don't know. Sometimes you can have a good time with terrible games. I'm hoping this is one of those. I also spent almost $100 on it. There was some hype behind this PS5 game when it got announced, and some more hype when it came out, but it just never got a reprint, and now it's getting kind of hard to find. I'm sure some company out there will reprint this, so it keeps the price down a little bit, but I jumped in and snagged a copy of it. I didn't get a great deal on it. I think it was $40 or so used, but it's supposed to be pretty cool. It's Evil West. And this is a horror western. Is it a first-person shooter? Third-person shooter? It is a... God, there's very little information. There's so much legal crap right here in this area. And information they need to let you know so they're free of their liability for screwing you over for a game or buying a game. That all it has is this. This is the only information about the game there is. This is the same thing, but it's in French. A dark menace consumes the American frontier. Rise up and become a Wild West superhero. Eradicate the vampire threat and save the United States. It doesn't say if it's a first-person shooter or not. I don't know if it is or it's a third-person shooter. It might actually be a tactical RPG. I don't know. And I know Retro Rivals loves this game a lot, so Pumped to get it. Glad I got it when I did, even though I don't even know what it is. Those are the kind of choices old RNG makes. So one of the most popular genres of games right now are called bullet heaven games. The opposite of bullet hell, I guess, shoot 'em ups, which is my favorite genre. The bullet heaven games are like games like Vampire Survivors, where you just move around and it's like an auto battler, and you succeed by choosing carefully what your upgrades are gonna be. Anyway, I've never played one. None of them have really come out physically other than the one I'm holding in my hand. It came from Redart Games. It's a zany, wacky version of a bullet heaven game. It's supposed to be pretty decent, but not great. However, it wasn't very expensive, so we do what we can. It's Brotato. A spaceship from Potato World crashes onto an alien planet. The sole survivor, Brotato, the only potato, capable of handling 6 weapons at the same time. It's just one of these you move around, you kill hordes of enemies, you try not to get overwhelmed, you try to survive as long as you can. Like I said, the gameplay's centered around what upgrades you get. Now, I don't think there are any like perpetual upgrades between the runs in this, which to me is the most addictive part of a roguelite, is the meta upgrades. I don't think this has any, but I'm not sure. I do remember watching some streamers play this and it's decent enough. But like I said, it was cheap. This next game, I did not know this game existed till I saw it mentioned in a video somewhere about how terrible it was, but I'm intrigued by the cast that is in this freaking game. We got Danny Glover, Vanilla Ice. Is that Kim Basinger, Danny Trejo, Chuck Norris? I mean, good God, dude. What the crap? It's crime boss, Rockay City. And this is just, I mean, look at this. Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, Michael Rooker, Kim Basinger, Basinger, I don't know. Danny Glover. It's an organized crime game combining first-person shooter action and turf wars. Is this online only? Oh, man. No! It is freaking required. It's an online only game? Lame. Online features may be terminated at any time. Well, if you like those kind of online games, you might enjoy this. I hear it's terrible, but it's insane that they got these people to play it. I'm gonna be getting rid of this. I'm not gonna be keeping it then if it's online only. I didn't know that. I did my due diligence about this game and for some reason I missed that. Man, I'm off my rocker, I'm tilted. I'm tilted because of that. Man, the only way you would know that that was an online game if you saw it in the store was if you looked on the back and saw the legal or the online requirements. Let me show you. It says 1 player there, and then it says 1 to 4 players online. PlayStation Plus subscription required. Is Crime Boss Rockay City online only?
According to Crime Boss, Rockay City, all game modes are playable offline, but you require an internet connection to play co-op with friends.
There we go. I was right initially. You can play it. You can play it offline.
Waste of my damn time.
So I have a fascination with these like 6th gen games like Xbox, GameCube, PS2 era, where the genre of game, it could be anything, but they chose to put sexy women on the cover for no reason. Most of the time, there's not even sexy women in the game. They just put like a girl in the bikini on the front and it's just like a pinball game. One of the big flag bearers for that genre is the Outlaw sports series. Outlaw Golf, Outlaw Volleyball, Outlaw. Are there any others? Is it just volleyball and golf? Might just be volleyball and golf. Anyway, I've been trying to complete that series and I just did. And it's the original holiday version of the game. Outlaw Golf, Holiday Golf. Now, it has the least sexy girl on the cover of this one. She's wearing clothes, appropriate clothing for playing in the snow. Now there's this one, and then there's another one that was a Blockbuster exclusive, and it was like 9 more holes of Holiday Golf. This only has 9 holes. It doesn't even have a full course on it. You have to buy this one and the Blockbuster exclusive to get all 18 holes of the course. Anyway, I'm done with the Outlaw Golf series. I have all the games. Now these two are not related to Outlaw Golf, but they're still sports with hot girls on the front. This one was published by Capcom and it's Procast Sports Fishing. This is supposed to be kind of fun. It's almost like an RPG golf game, I think, but I also saw that it got really bad reviews, but I do think it has attractive women in the game. So if you're a person of culture, there you go. This is kind of an expensive, hard to find game. I wasn't able to find this at any convention, and I looked for it. I had to order it off eBay. Another fishing game published by Atlus. Atlus. And look at this. Look at this. Look at her expression. Why? Why so many game with sexy girl in them? Now this next game, I guess technically is a AAA game. Apparently they spent an insane amount of money on it. It was published by EA, but like it was just uninspired and nobody played it. So I guess it fell into obscurity. I haven't really seen it around. I haven't heard anybody mention it. So I'm gonna consider it a hidden gem, because sometimes big movies flop and then come back later. This might be one of those. But it's Immortals of, is it Aveum? This is a first-person shooter wizard spellcasting game. I guess Ascendant Studios did this. It says on the front they did. And apparently it looks really nice, but it's nothing spectacular. It had a spectacular budget, but the results were not there. But I hear it's pretty decent. It's decent enough, and I grabbed it for just like 10 bucks. 10 bucks for a decent first-person shooter is fine with me. I love first-person shooters, but there are a lot of bad ones. But I tend to pick them up when they get like cheap, because they tend to sell really well. This one didn't sell very well. So I have a feeling it might hang around a little bit higher than you'd expect. This might be one of those like $30 games later when it would normally be like a $5 game. And this is the biggest budget game in the whole video. So if you're like, he lied, you say everything's a hidden gem, this is as big as it gets, okay? This game flopped. This is not a popular game, all right? Let's talk about another possibly great first-person shooter. Now, the Panasonic 3DO is a notorious console, has lots of terrible games on it, has lots of bad ports of other systems, really. But it did have an exclusive first-person shooter on it that's considered to be one of the best games on the system and also one of the most expensive. Complete in box can go upwards of $300. Well, I found a listing on eBay of this game. It's called Killing Time. But the listing said that it was just game and box only. It is not game and box only. The manual is in the box, in case you haven't, or inside the game. So in case you've never seen a 3DO game in one of these big boxes, they typically, like a PC game, have a jewel case inside of them. This is the manual, okay? It's not a long manual that fills the box. And some 3DO games do have those. It's also, according to this guy, missing the registration card, which is a significant portion of the value, like maybe $100. The registration card was just in there. He just missed it. And I bought it, suspecting it to be the way he listed, you know, missing stuff. It's all there, it's complete. I paid $100 for it. Shipped. I got it for like a third of its value. I'm super excited about that. It's hard to find deals on eBay. But this guy he just made a mistake. I didn't know he made the mistake. I didn't see the posting and was like, he screwed up, I'm gonna pull one over on him. I just bought it. It's $100 and it was in the box. I don't usually see it in the box, but I got lucky. So congratulations to me. And at the same time, I went on a little bit more of a 3DO hunting kick. I've always wanted to play this game, although it's in a genre I'm terrible at, adventure games. This was ported over from the PC. It's a very strange game, but I remember seeing it in the store and wanting to get it so badly. My dad, who was a preacher by the way, would not let me get this game. It's called Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. And I think it is like a full motion video adventure kind of game, sort of like Myst, but it's got like Dennis Hopper in it and Stephanie Seymour, like Victoria's Secret model married to Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, Stephanie Seymour. But this got good reviews, and the PC version of it got good reviews. I remember owning a PC magazine, a PC Gamer, was that the name of the company? I can't remember. PC Gamer magazine, and this was like on their top 10 games of the year. Earlier when we mentioned Braindead 13, I talked about all these Laserdisc-based arcade games. They were basically like QuickTime event games, right? Well, there are a bunch of really famous ones that were never really released in the United States. They were made by Taito, and Taito put them on the Switch in this Taito LD game collection. And LD stands for Laserdisc. Now, this game says it does not have English on it, but I have heard from other people that it is playable in Japanese, that you don't really need to know any English to know what was going on. But it has Time Gal, Battleship Yamato. I'm trying to think of what the other game is. Hold on, let me look it up. What 3 games are on the Taito LD game collection?
DoDonPachi, a collection of 1980s masterpiece LD games that includes the 3 Taito Laserdisc games, Time Gal HD Remaster, Space Battleship Yamato HD Remaster, and Revenge of the Ninja HD Remaster.
What? Why was it echo? Why was there reverb? What happened to you, Google? Time Gal, Spaceship Yamato, and Revenge of the Ninja. Okay, there you go. That's what's on here, and they're all remastered. October's coming up. That's horror month. As always, I get in the mood to start playing horror games, and that's what I do in October. It's the only time of the year where I pause the random gaming thing and play horror games. Now, I still play them randomly, selected from my horror list, but it's just horror games. I tend to play through those a little bit faster than the rest of the games in my backlog. So I'm always on the lookout for new horror games. And I have a stack of 4 of them here that I'm very excited to share with you and to play myself. The first is a game that was released on the PS5. It went out of print, it's kind of hard, so I imported the PAL version of it, but it's the Medium. Now, you may notice that this is done by Bloober Team. If you don't know who Bloober Team is, they are the people that are doing the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I hope to stream this October. It comes out on the 8th. I'll be streaming on the 8th, so I want to pick it up and play it. But I hear this one's decent. Not a great horror game, but decent enough. And this was, you know, just $20 or something. This one just got a sequel. This is like a port of a old, like almost PlayStation 2 era game, I think. I know it's an older game that they brought over to the PS5, but it's White Day. You're a girl stuck in a high school full of, like every freaking Japanese. You're a girl in a high school and there's crap trying to get you. All right. Now, what is White Day? As I understand it, White Day is like the opposite of Valentine's Day or something, and it's where the girls give presents to guys or vice versa or something. It has 30 DLC costumes, 30 plus DLC costumes. Anyway, I said this was Japanese. I'm a piece of crap. It's not. It's Korean. Now that I'm thinking about it. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But it's a Korean game, and it says high school, uncover dark secrets, tragic past, janitors, phantoms, puzzles, twisting narrative, unique endings. Will you make it out alive? I just summarized that. It's exactly what you thought it was. I would have shown you this cover and you would have known exactly what this game is. But the sequel really did just come out, and it did come out in the West, so you can grab it. This one I had to order off PlayAsia. I don't know if it's one of their exclusives or not, but it was released by East Asia Soft. This is not a retail release. It's an online only release on the barcode for home use only. There is no rating on it, PEGI, Asia region, or NTSC, US, ESRB, nothing. It's The Bridge Curse, Road to Salvation. And when I see this phone and a ghost in it, this gives me like Fatal Frame vibes, which is why I bought it. Witness the events of a well-known supernatural incident in first person. Navigate Taiwanese college campus. A Taiwanese college campus. I was like, and interact with a memorable cast of characters. Discover clues surrounding a dark urban legend in the deadly. It just doesn't tell you anything. Anyway, it looks pretty terrifying. Now this one's interesting. I also ordered this off PlayAsia. It has no rating on the front of it, none. It's published by East Asia Soft. It says licensed by Nintendo on the back of it though. But published by PlayAsia Soft. This is an older game too, as I recall. But it's Kwaidan, a Musa Manor story on the Switch. And you can see the film strip here. This is supposed to be a film game. Battle against devilish yokai. Those are spirits. A manor full of devious puzzles. Overcome these challenges in a profound catharsis awaits. I've been waiting for a profound catharsis for a long time. I've been waiting for a lot, like for my mouth to work, but it isn't happening. Authentic 3D action. That's the first thing on the top. Point and click adventure elements. Anyway, horror. Horror's good, man. Happy October. It's not October yet. This is in preparation for October. Well, hell, since we just grouped together all the survival horror games, let's group together all of the shoot 'em up / shoot 'em up adjacent style games. This first one I was highly anticipating. It was put out by Konami. It's supposed to be the shoot 'em up to bring everybody into the fold. It's supposed to be the shoot 'em up for casual gamers, the normies, right? Not the hardcore people. Great graphics. I've heard only mixed things about it. It's Cygni, all guns blazing. Now I know Mark MSX from the Electric Underground. He is a fantastic content creator and understands a lot about game design and game theory. And they consulted him when making this game, and he straight up told them not to do these certain things. And they told him they were going to do them anyway because they thought it looked good. Not that it would be fun to play, but they're like, we just want more bullets on the screen because it'll look flashier, even though you can't dodge them. You're just going to take damage. He's like, don't do that. And they're like, we're going to do that. So he has very mixed feelings about this game. But I've heard a few casual people out there say that they really enjoyed it. It was their first shoot 'em up. So while it does not cater directly to shoot 'em up fans, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to grab those people that have always been interested, but too afraid to try. So I support it. I hope it brings more people into the shoot 'em up genre. It is my favorite, but it's also the most hardcore genre of all and the most difficult to get into. I hope this ameliorates some of those issues. I already own this game on the PlayStation 2. I paid over $100 for it because I wanted to play it so bad, and the PlayStation 2 was the definitive version, even over the Xbox 360 re-release of it. It's from Cave, the masters of the shoot 'em up. It's from the DoDonPachi series, and it's DoDonPachi Dai. However, it has not gotten picked for me to play yet, and in the meantime, a better version was released by M2 on the PS4. DoDonPachi Dai. This is as bullet helly as it gets. This is like the best DoDonPachi game of all. I love DoDonPachi, but some of the games kind of lost me a little bit. They get a little samey. The reason I picked this one up is because these M2 Shot Triggers releases include a bunch of training modes and alternate modes to help teach you how to play the games. And it's hard to dive into these old shoot 'em ups that were arcade games and just play through like a 30-minute game to get extra practice at the last boss. This most likely will let you play the game on super easy mode, and then it'll have like 10 difficulties to help ease you in, and you can play from any point that you were struggling with. So, very excited to get this. This will be the one I'm gonna play. This is a remake, retelling, remix of a Atari game that never came out called Akka Ahhr. And I played it on the Atari anniversary celebration. I don't remember what it's called. I did an hour-and-a-half long review of it where I covered every freaking game on it. Nobody watched it, and then all of a sudden people started watching it. It's like weekly one of my top 5 best performing videos every week. But this game was featured on that, and I mentioned I thought it was really good and I wish it had gotten released. I guess some other people felt that way. Atari remade it for the PS5. It's Akka Ahhr. And this is a crazy just arcade game. It's not really a shoot 'em up, but it's shoot 'em up adjacent. Limited Run Games put this out. It's limited run number 52 on the PS5, and I'm excited to play this. I really enjoyed it when I played the first one, so happy to have that. Yu Suzuki put out a new game in his old style. This is like the game, my God, my brain is so freaking fried. What is the name of that flipping game? Rail shooter. It's the most famous rail shooter of all flipping time. Space Harrier. This is like a Space Harrier style game, and it's called Air Twister. Now, I ordered this, pre-ordered it from Strictly Limited Games, and was waiting for it to come in, and I waited, and then I just saw it popped up on Amazon. So I canceled that order and bought the Amazon version. It was cheaper, and it's the ESRB release. This is still up on Amazon, guys. But if you like rail shooters, I hear this one's a decent one. Now, old shooters are an old-fashioned style of game, back from before I was born even. I'm excited to see them do something like that, but I know this game is not for everybody. I think this is like a love letter to people that like retro-style games. So glad to have this one. And this one I ordered from Video Games of New York Soft, a VGNY Soft. And it's a shoot 'em up. I know literally nothing about it. I just buy every single shoot 'em up that comes out. It's Overdriven Evolution. And this looks like the most generic thing I have ever seen in the back. It's just like dodge bullets, solve puzzles, and experience an action-packed adventure solo or up to 4 players in local co-op. And it just looks like a bullet hell game. Now, it does have a 16:9 aspect ratio. And that's bad for shoot 'em ups. You have too much horizontal space to maneuver. You gotta keep things tight. So this feels like it might be a little bit of a Euro shmup. And I am using that in a derogatory sense this time. If you guys don't know what a Euro shmup is, I'm not gonna explain it again. You can look it up. But this looks okay, and I'm willing to spend, I'll spend $100 on a new shmup that comes out, sight unseen, just because I love them so much. I just hope I get a good one. But they're usually pretty decent, so maybe this one's decent. We'll see. Another genre I really love are Metroidvanias. And there are a million of them that come out all the time. Well, I grabbed 3 of them here. I think this one, it might not necessarily be like full Metroidvania. It might just be more like a Castlevania clone. But it came from Redart Games once again. It's Super Zangyura. And like I said, this is just a Castlevania game with a cute little maid with her whip mace thing. And this got really decent reviews, and I kind of passed on it, but it came up for sale on their website. Redart Games is one of the few limited games distributors that they clearance stuff out. If it doesn't sell, they make it cheap. So I got this for a really good price, happy to have it. This one is a AA game. This is done by Ubisoft, and it's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Everybody was talking about this. I wasn't willing to pay $50 for this game. I hear it's great. It's also very difficult from what I understand. I wanted a price drop, and it dropped down to $25. So I grabbed it at $25. I was willing to do that. I don't mind paying a lot of money for a game. Okay, I have no problem. You've seen me spend like $700 on a game. I'll do it. But I don't want to do it in a genre where all the other games are like at a certain price point. If every single Metroidvania that comes out is $30, you don't make yours $50. I don't care if you're Ubisoft or any other company. You got to compete with that. And this one just slipped under my radar. I saw it in GameStop, and the cover blew me away. Come to find out, it's a 2D Metroidvania that is like super hyper color botanical based, and it's Ultros, and it comes in a deluxe edition with like a slipcase and this and art cards and all that sort of crap. Dude, this looks awesome. A vast psychedelic world teeming with plant life to tend to. Intense close quarter combat. $30. It was right next to freaking Prince of Persia on the shelf. Prince of Persia was like almost double the price of this. And this looks so much more interesting. Which one of these would catch your eye on the shelf more? Seriously? And this one is a beloved game. So many people have told me to pick this up. It was done by Fangamer. They were the publishers of it. It's like kind of expensive for a PS4 Zelda clone, 3D Zelda clone. But it was up on Best Buy for sale for $20 or $30. I can't remember. It looks really cute. Come to find out, it's pretty tough, but it's Tunic. And it has this hollow foil cover on it. This is gorgeous. My daughter wants to play it. I want to play it. This looks fantastic. I've heard nothing but great things about this. And it's one of the last big PS4 games that were kind of like from before the PS5 that I still needed to get. I still have PS4 games that are coming out now that I'm buying, but like holdovers from back then. I think this was the last one. And this game is considered to be one of the good older roguelite games. I know people love it. I've never played it. I don't really know anything about the gameplay loops or the mechanic, but I don't know anything about the mechanic, dude. That mechanic down there, you take your car to him, he doesn't know how to fix it. He just opens the hood, he looks inside, and he charges you like $300. That's what this game's like. I bought it off Limited Run Games sight unseen, and it got a 9 out of 10, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. But it's Curse of the Dead Gods. And I love roguelites. I hate how much time they take up. But I love the gameplay loop of like trying over and over again and upgrading a little bit between your runs. I like that stuff. And here we got the last game, number 24, 25, whatever it was. I forgot what I said. There was a lot of controversy behind this one. I left it to the end. Apparently it's a fantastic game, but the creator of it is a giant piece of crap. I don't know, that's what everybody told me. I know Limited Run Games announced this and then didn't put it out for like years later because of the controversy, the implications. It's a night in the woods. Welcome to Possum Springs, college dropout. I mean, that's all I need to know. Possum, college dropout. This is a legendary indie game. It's supposed to be great. I don't like the controversy around it, and I don't know the full story. And I'm sorry I'm making light of it. What else are you gonna do, right? If we can't laugh at ourselves, if we can't find humor everywhere in this world, like, then we wouldn't be able to survive it, right? It'd be too painful. I'm gonna play this. I'm hoping that I can separate the art from the artist. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Do that for me. If I earned it, of course. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like. That's the best way to help me with the YouTube algorithm. And leave a comment down below. I answer every one of them. All these messages and names you see on the screen right now are from my Patreon supporters and channel members. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter or channel member and get access to my Discord, get access to the videos early, get access to member exclusive videos, which are a lot of fun, that's how you can do it. And you can do it for as little as 99 cents a month. Of course, there's lots of other things you can do if you want to help out more. But I appreciate each and every one of you, the channel members, the Patreon supporters, and just the viewers. Thank you so much for all you do for me. I couldn't do it without you, and I'll catch you guys next week.